Hey Astros fans, welcome to today's edition of Extra Innings, the Astros Fans UK next day recap on Astros ball games. Game 119, Astros 7, Red Sox 6. Let's dive into the key talking points from an explosive and eventually hard-fought victory to start the series at home with 3 up, 3 down. 3 up, leading off Cristian Javier. In his first start for 14 months after being out with Tommy John surgery, it could barely have started worse for El Reptile, giving up a base hit on his very first pitch, and then a 2-run homer to Alex Bregman of all people on his first return to Houston as an opposition player. And nothing to do down in a difficult first, it would have been very easy for Javier to let things spiral similarly to what Spencer Arrighetti had happened to him in Miami last week, but Javier wasn't having it. He proceeded to find his feet and deliver a superb 5-inning outing, giving up only 3 hits in the end and picking up 5 strikeouts with just the 2 walks. As far as comeback performances go against a tough opponent, Javier's was extremely exciting and his return is massive for our rotation. Up second, Christian Walker, arguably the most pivotal plate appearance of the game, came in the 3rd inning, where Walker dug deep to produce a stellar at-bat versus Red Sox ace Garrett Crochet, working a 2-2 count before crunching a 2 RBI double to deep left center field to turn a 1-2 deficit into a 3-2 lead. Walker's improvements at the plate have been astronomical of late and he's now showing the very best of what he can do. Up third, Ramón Urías. It was a massive night for Urías with a 3-hit game that included a single, a double, and an absolutely demolished 2-run homer blasted over left in the 5th off the fireball throwing Jordan Hicks to extend our lead to 7-2. Urías is appearing to be a sneakily impactful and savvy addition to this team following his acquisition at the trade deadline. Let's break the rules. Up fourth, Chad McCormick. The much maligned Chazzy Fizz had a memorable moment to match any of the others in the game as he hammered an important 2-run shot of his own in the 4th inning, his first home run in a year and giving us a little breathing room at 5-2 up. If he's able to fight for his place like this, then bring it on. Up fifth, Carlos Correa. It was the long-awaited second home debut for the Astros icon and Correa was given a terrific ovation before his first at-bat by a packed and loud Daikin Park crowd. In a moment, there was enough to make your spine tingle even watching through a screen. On the field, Carlos delivered as well with a clutch RBI hit in the 3rd off Crochet that halved the early deficit to 1-2. Correa's influence on this team is electric. Up 6th, Yana Diaz. He's not been unfairly criticised for his inability to control the running game behind our pitchers, but in the 8th inning with the nerves jangling and the tying run at first, Yana nailed a throw to Urías at second for an incredibly important out to stave off the threat and credit where it's due. Up 7th, Cam Smith. Cam continued his resurgence with 2 more hits here, including an impressive double off Crochet, a single and a walk. He's contributing again at the plate and remains reliable in his first season at right field as well. Up 8th, Caleb Ort. The Man Mountain's admirable form continued apace with a pretty dominant 1-2-3-6 inning. Ort has really delivered over this last week or so. Up 9th, Enyel De Los Santos and Bennett Sousa. With Brian Abreu and Josh Hader unavailable, Astros debutant De Los Santos and lefty Sousa combined to get us over the line in the 9th and fight for the victory. 3 down, first out, Hector Neris. He celebrated the notable achievement of 10 years in Major League Baseball, but on the mound he was a shadow of the pitcher he's been for us in seasons past, allowing the Red Sox off the mat as our 7-2 lead dwindled. Second out, Stephen Okert. Unfortunately, Okert didn't help things either, giving up a 2-run homer that made the game 7-6 and suddenly a real nerve jangler. Let's leave the negatives there though. A couple of extra points to finish on. Happy homecoming. Mixed emotions with Correa and Bregman returning in different circumstances. This was a memorable regular season Astros night that won't be forgotten anytime soon. And example to follow. If Arrighetti needs any inspiration ahead of his second start back in the second game, nothing better than that display from Javier to follow. With the win, we improved to 67 and 52, moving back to a full game ahead at the top of the AL West. That's it for today's Extra Innings, the next day recap. Let me know your takes on the win in the comments. Make sure you're following at Astros Fans UK on all platforms, and I'll catch you tomorrow for the next edition of Extra Innings. Go Stros!